The house at Graceland stood quieter than I had ever known it. Elvis was gone, and now my Uncle Vernon, the father who had kept his son's world steady, was gone too. In that silence, our family gathered once more on the front steps of the home that had overflowed with laughter, music, and prayer. We didn't know it then, but it would be one of the final times we would stand together at Graceland, not as visitors, but as family. From left to right stood my dad, Earl Pritchett, my mom, Reverend Nash Presley Pritchett, my Uncle Vester Presley, my sister Karen Susie Pritchett, our two loyal and loving Graceland cooks, me, and my Aunt Delta Mae Biggs, who was still living inside the mansion. In our hands, we held a portrait of Elvis, not as the world remembered him, but as we did. The young man with the guitar, the son, nephew, and cousin whose music had carried all our hopes. We couldn't have known what time would bring. When we gathered for that photograph, our loss was still for Uncle Vernon and Grandma, not yet for the life that was quietly slipping away around us. The home we had always called the Hill, the mansion, the gardens, the nearby houses where family once lived, would in the years ahead no longer feel the same. What had been our world, a place of laughter, of music, of ordinary days and family faith, would begin to change. We would watch, slowly at first, as others stepped in to decide its future. And though it would be done in the name of preservation, it would come at a cost we could not yet see. The life we had known within those gates would begin to fade, its warmth replaced by the rhythm of tours and the footsteps of strangers. The rooms that once echoed with our voices would carry new sounds, new stories told by people who had never lived them. And one day, those of us who had loved it most would return, not as family, but as visitors. We would wait in line, buy a ticket, and walk once more through rooms that had once felt so familiar. Once, we had moved freely through them. Part of the life within those walls, part of its heartbeat, but in time, even that quiet sense of belonging would fade. We would be gently but firmly pushed away, the gates closing behind us, and in time we become strangers in our own home. Even the graves of our loved ones, resting in the garden where we once prayed and gathered, would one day be less easily reached. What had been a place of intimate remembrance would slowly become a site of visitation, watched over, curated, and carefully preserved for others to see. The very ground that held our family's history would come to represent something larger than us, both a sanctuary and a symbol. And yet, through all that change, something precious endures, because love, once lived and deeply rooted, does not fade with time. It continues quietly, in faith, in memory, and in the hearts of those who still remember what it truly meant to call that place home. I miss you and all you were, the Hill, once our home, now a memory.